Focus on love. Love what's in focus. Aim for above because the ceiling's bogus. Focus on love. Love what's in focus. Aim for above because the ceiling is bogus. Focus on love. Love what's in focus. Aim for above because the ceiling. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Famous Rapper Convos, the show where we help music artists introduce themselves to new supporters, collaborators, and clients. I'm your host, David Prorock. My album Now and Later is out now and later, and I'm on a mission to inspire 1 billion people to freestyle rap. And that's why today I'm very excited for a very special guest. We are meeting David Bradshaw, aka BS, the only BS you can trust. David, say hello to the people.
Hey, what up? BS here. Trust me.
That's hilarious. That's how you know that you can be trusted, because you're always saying that you can be trusted, right? Cool. So, do you prefer if I call you BS throughout the interview?
Yeah, I mean, BS. Most of the homies call me BS. Most of my friends call me BS. My mom would call me David when she was yelling at me. You know?
Yeah, okay.
But my mom's Cuban, so it'd be more like David. Like.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, let's go with BS. So BS. The first question I always ask is, in about 3 minutes, touching on a few milestones in your life, art, and career, what's the full story of you as an artist? When did you get started with music, and how did you get to where you are today?
Oh man, I've had kind of a zigzagonal kind of journey, you know. Growing up, just fan of music of all genres, and then kind of at the time, like kind of like radio rap was kind of like the main exposure, like kind of elementary school, middle school. I bopped around the East Coast, New York to Alabama to Philly area. And middle school was like Philly area. I fell in hard with skate culture, you know, inline skating in particular. And from those videos, I worked at a skate park. Just the influence, like the guys from the Midwest would have rhyme sayers artists in their profiles, like just being kind of hip to all kinds of layers and substrata of hip hop. From there, I started. My like first freestyle moment was like a lunchroom battle with some kid who. I mean, I didn't know he didn't want the smoke, but he knows now he didn't want the smoke. But it, you know, fast forward like some drunk blacked out moment where I just started freestyling and people were like, Bradshaw just did what just happened? I don't remember. I was told it was really dope. I'm going to trust them on that. You know, fast forward, I always saw myself as a late blooming creative. I moved to New York City for school. So I was 18 in New York. I've been in New York ever since. And then some friends and I were like, you know, what'd be really funny is like every time like we just hang out and drink, we should like freestyle. And at the end of 4 years, maybe we'll be decent at freestyling if we're drinking. and then I was the only one who kept freestyling regardless of, you know, substance or not, or, you know, and then I ended up with my cousin's ID at 19, sneaking into Freestyle Mondays. Just New York City hip hop institution going on 20 years. And I'd just be sneaking into rap, you know, cousin's ID going in the spot. And it was like, at the time it was a weekly like freestyle open mic with like a battle at the top of the month. And my conceptualization of my own expression in hip hop was more just like, I need a space. I need a container for the feelings that I don't want to hold on to all day, every day, because it doesn't feel good. It's too heavy. And having like this, like safe, like, you know, you consent to a battle, right? Like if it is like a format, like you're not battling somebody who doesn't want to battle. So being able to just go off, have it be received, you know, take the heat in the kitchen because you're in the kitchen, and then, you know, cool, it's all good afterward. That was my focus for a while. A lot of my come up. Fast forward, I met my buddy Gray Matter, who's now many years later my best friend. He's the beatboxing half of Brain Space. Outside a Virgin Megastore, like hit me on to like ciphers in the parks and like just hip hop subway series. Like we would link up and like basically have a acapella jam party and take over a whole subway car and just rock that shit from point A to point B, and, you know, network, run through all of that shit. I was in a group called Dollar Coffee, released an album called Nice Things. That was with another MC, called himself Albert Rhymestein. You know, shout out to Dan and his family.
Nice.
And we did the Apollo, like amateur night at the Apollo. Didn't get booed off. Didn't place, but didn't get booed off. Like it's just one of those kind of like oh wow, I just stood in front of like 1,000 people who booed me because I wasn't their cousin singing a Marvin Gaye cover. I can take anything, like sweet. And then fast, from there, just freestyle antics all over the place, running around with my boy Gray. That landed us on like 106 in Park, working with like Red Bull TV, just a bunch of just shooting an accidental, like quasi-viral, like Nikon video commercial with a National Geographic award-winning photographer through our friends at 5 Points and 5 Points Creates. Linked up with the producer who at the time was calling himself Good Goose. He's now going by Rich Matthew. And we made a bunch of songs, released a couple on his imprint promo distro backed by Tommy Boy. So kind of like some flash in the pan moments of attention. I kind of came to a place where I was like, damn, I don't really know how I feel about constantly commodifying my feelings and feeling like I need to ask people, did you listen to it? Did you buy it? Did you tell your friends? Did you? And it kind of made me feel a type of way, nothing against anyone or any particular thing. It was just that sort of movement and rhythm, especially at the time, didn't feel like it fit. So for then I kind of, backed off of writing. If something, catharsis or like, I felt inspired or called to write, I would. But as far as being like, I'm being a recording artist and I'm making songs, like this is what I do. No, it's part of what I do. And if I feel like doing it, I'm going to do it. But it's not going to be this emphasis and this thing that I feel like I need to constantly try to pull people into. It's going to exist. It's going to stand on its own. And if people gravitate towards, great. If they don't, great. Freestyling everywhere left and right. And I took a lot of time to focus on education. So I spent time teaching second grade, dual language, so English and in Spanish. I'm half Cuban, I'm bilingual, and was able to take my time working, helping people rap, teaching people how to rap. Education facilitation is something that's been a part of my life informally, formally throughout. I realized that, the education system, in the public education system in our country, in New York City in particular, leaves a lot to be desired. And it's a difficult situation. A shout out to all the teachers, especially throughout 2020 and all of this madness. Like, y'all deserve pay raises and all the accolades. But I was able to take that and then start working in like the hip hop ed sector and do a lot of workshops, beatbox workshops, rhyme writing workshops, freestyle workshops on my own with nonprofits. And then that led to eventually working with Freestyle Love Supreme Academy, starting my own Freestyle Fitness NYC initiative, working with adults down to little kids, special needs populations, incarcerated youth, all across the spectrum. If it has to do with words and people are down to mess with words, I have probably worded with them. So that kind of leads us to where we are now, where it's kind of this fun kind of in between space where I love freestyle. I love everything about freestyle. And your goal of getting 1 billion people to freestyle really resonates with me. I see, we're spreading a thought virus, and there are very positive consequences to this thought virus. Enhanced communication, greater self-awareness, literally and figuratively putting things in opposition in rhythm and harmony. The world could use a lot of that. And just kind of, trying to create some super powered hip hop do-gooders. And then pandemic strikes, Freestyle Fitness went virtual, expanded as a virtual entity, which is really dope. And then I created Props, a hip hop game show, which is kind of taking freestyle fitness and those kinds of philosophies and ideas to a whole other level and dressing them up as a virtual freestyle rap game show. And I think that's a very verbose answer, but I think that kind of brings us to where we're sitting today in February 21.
Cool. Nice. That was a great story. You talked about a lot there. So you said you first got involved in music in like elementary school, maybe middle school. You did a rap battle with somebody and made them cry. And that's what I took away from it. And you also freestyled when you went to college, doing drunk freestyles, and you got involved in going to freestyle sessions every Monday. And then, you just kept exploring that. You became a recording artist temporarily. So where does your album, Satan LOL, fit in?
Oh, that's a good touch point. I skipped that. Thank you, David. Yeah, Satan LOL. I'd linked up with my friend Carvo, and it was one of those where like he had recently just moved back to New York. We'd been talking about making a bunch of songs, and whenever we hung out, like it just felt like the work came. It would just kind of not write itself, but it wasn't hard to create together. And we made like probably about like 3 EPs worth of content, and that first batch became Satan LOL. So that was my first kind of jump back into writing and songwriting, and like going for that written medium as an expressive form again in like a more publicized way. So that passion project, it felt right to do it at the time. I wasn't on anybody's schedule. It wasn't. There weren't no external demands on it. It was just like, oh, cool. I'm hanging out with my homie and we're making songs, and oh, these songs go together. They have a theme, and they tell a part of my story and communicate a lot of feelings, and like release me of a whole lot of baggage. To be totally honest, like we were messaging before, like Satan LOL, that whole phrase. It's for people who laugh at their problems, and sometimes you cry on your way to laughter. Sometimes the laughter and the crying happen simultaneously. I feel like if you're staring down your demons, what's the most empowering thing you could do is stare that shit right back in the eye and laugh.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So it was a cathartic kind of project for you.
100%, 100%.
And then you said that you did some things with like Red Bull and other like sponsored brands or something. Could you tell me more about that?
Sure. So the Red Bull gig, yeah, I guess some random joint. So the Red Bull gig came from my boy Gray Matter. They somehow reached him. I think we had done Beatbox the movie. I'm like the token rapper host character, basically myself in Beatbox the movie. And so from working with that production company, some of those folks had touch points at Red Bull TV, who then reached out to us about helping them put together an episode for a show called Way Past Midnight. And so we were able to like run around New York City literally all night and kind of take them on this tour of like the things that we do. So we started at like an art battle that I was hosting, and ran around to like all over the city. Ended up at the Lesson, at the time at Arlene's Grocery. Shout out to the Lesson fam. And then ended up like just antics across the city, and then ending up at like this 24-hour Chinatown like food spot like at the very end, and like calling it a night at 5. So you can watch it's Way Past Midnight. I'm blanking on the name of the episode, but if you go to trustbs.com and go down to like the media section, you can find it. Yeah, it's a really cool episode. It also features Baxter Wordsworth, like phase 1 of the Lesson, a whole bunch of like dope like NYC like hip hop folks pop in and out of that shit.
Dude, that sounds awesome. I gotta check that out. Cool. And then you also mentioned something about like Tommy Boy Records or Tommy Boy Entertainment. I don't know what it's actually called. What was that about?
That was cool. It was shout out to Rosie and Anthony over at Tommy Boy. So Rich I think he still works with them, like on an admin, like admin level, I think. But he had a relationship with them, and he wanted to put out a bunch of records on his own imprint. They already had a business relationship. They were into it. It was a really sweet deal. They were just
what
a bunch of one-offs.
What does imprint mean?
So imprint, like his own like production house, but like backed, like the promo distro was backed by the label. But the label is like acquiescing creative control to the imprint itself. So like we had control over the creative. They helped us put it in places where people could see it. So it was cool. So it was a fun time. Like it could be like, oh, my song was on the front page of the iTunes store. That's dope. Like they got me a Vivo account. Fuck yeah. Nice. Like it was a wild time.
Is that under BS or where's that? Like, what is the song, or what did you create?
So the first release was a song called Douchebag Aviators.
In 2013.
Yeah, 2013. Yeah. And then Whiskey Monster was the follow-up. So if you go to trustbs.com/Vivo, you can peep those videos. They were a lot of fun. It was a cool time in life. Learned a lot.
Nice. And I just want to make a connection. I just heard about Tommy Boy Records like last night because they sponsored something called Wrapped.fm. Have you heard of this before?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. I just discovered it for the first time, but basically it was like also around 2013. And then it was like a platform that it would bring them together for like do like battle rap with each other on video. Like providing a beat and then people would freestyle or whatever, and then people could vote on like who won.
Oh, that's dope. What was his name? I met a dude. Maybe this was his project. Eric.
Yeah, Eric.
Eric Thornburg. Not
No, it's like
last name with a T. He's from your neck of the woods. He's on the West Coast. I met him at Freestyle Love Supreme.
Eric Torenberg.
There it is. Yo, shout out to Eric. Okay. So then, yes, I misspoke. I have heard of it, but I was never privy to the ins and outs or the mechanisms of it. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, nice. I just discovered it last night because like I was filling out an application to Y Combinator to like get funding to basically build Wrapped.fm. Like, you know, I had like the same idea, but then I discovered that it already existed in 2013, but it's shut down now. And they did a thing with Tommy Boy, and then so I don't know, just making those connections.
Dope.
Yeah. Do you know Eric?
Yeah. Not very well, but we he would pop in. So I was I work with Freestyle Love Supreme Academy, and so this was when meeting in person was still was a thing, and like he popped into a few sessions, and he was just a really rad dude. Nice. Fun to freestyle with, like really just good energy, good heart. Like him and Evan Stites Clayton were all just, I don't know, it was cool to like hang out. Oh, West Coast people who know each other. Let's rap. I want to try to rap West Coast style. Yeah, let's go. Like
that's hilarious. Cool. Interesting. So all right, let's just move on to the next question, which is looking forward 12 months from now. Where do you hope to be with your music and your career? And like, what are the next steps that you're taking to get there?
Sure. I mean, I would love in the next 12 months, I would love to have Freestyle Fitness expanded to the point where my business administration and like my patterns and my templates and routines are a little bit more automated. I feel like now it's like a new thing. And, new skills, new skill building, new habit building. And I really look forward to that point where those things go a little bit more into autopilot. Expanding Freestyle Fitness to reach more people. Right now we're getting people all over the US, UK, Germany, so pulling international, but would love to continue expanding that virtually. Would love to be doing Freestyle Fitness workshops in person. I would in-person things in a year. That would be like, you know what I mean? It doesn't even need to be my thing. An in-person thing, a safe in-person thing would feel so good. But expanding in that reach, like maybe bringing on like a couple folks, but just I've got a new series called Raising the Bar, and I like to bring in folks who are like sub-skill experts, and we co-develop and co-facilitate, co-teach a course. The first one's coming up this Saturday with Lou Armistead called Punchline Crunch Time, like a punchline like intensive workshop. But do more of those. Be able to book and calendar them in advance so folks know when they are well in advance. Like as I say these things out loud, I'm like, maybe in the next 12 months I should take a business administration course. That would probably be a phenomenal use of time and energy. And I would love for Props to continue growing and expanding. I would love to be visiting different countries to do hip hop. I've been talking with a Next Level organization, and hopefully, like that would be cool to be able to lock that in 2022. To do some cultural ambassador style work. I mean, with they would be like goals collab, but one way or the other, find my way to getting there. But pushing that, and I would love to like 2021 rhyme goals. So let's go micro here. I'm bilingual. I'm Cuban. My mom's from Havana. I speak English and Spanish, and it's funny because it's taken so long for Spanish language things to like invade my expression, written, freestyle, or otherwise. So 2021, that shit stops. So it's Spanish, Spanglish, English, like putting it all together. So that's something I want to keep flexing on. And I think I've been kind of falling in love with writing again. So I'm not saying I want to have a new project released in a year, but to have pieces that can like maybe start to feel like they might go together in 12 months would be an incredible place. And then, not put that pressure to release it a particular type of way or at a particular point in time, but just, start slowly like collecting those puzzle pieces, you know, put the puzzle piece and the pickles on the wall, see what sticks a little bit later. And if it makes sense to put them together and share them with people.
Mm-hmm. Nice. That makes sense. So it sounds like your main focus is building out Freestyle Fitness as a business. Could you tell me more about Freestyle Fitness? What is this?
100%. So Freestyle Fitness is my initiative to spread freestyle rap. It is like a sub-skill focused, like small group, supportive environment that lends itself to expression and just, because, sometimes when you freestyle, it's especially if you surrender to it, it can be a truth serum. Helping folks be comfortable with that and therefore themselves more, but then also have moments where we can focus on building sub skills, patterns, working on internal rhymes, interline rhymes, like taking elements that are more common in written raps and infusing them into our freestyles with practice. So the general philosophy of Freestyle Fitness is, practice makes progress. Fail, fail again, fail better, feel better about failing, and eventually feel better. Accept and respect imperfection. Perfect freestyle is an oxymoron. And the most beautiful freestyle moments are when people visibly make a mistake, fall into a hole, and then dig themselves out of it. Because had they never fallen in the hole, you would not have this miracle magic moment where all of a sudden they like teleport back on top by casting some spell from out their face. So the goal is to just empower folks, activate their voices, help them feel confident in themselves and their own expression, because what people have to say is important. People's voices should be heard. They should be activated. And these are there's so many tools available within freestyle rap that are applicable outside of rap, hip hop, the medium of freestyle rap. I can't think of a single life situation that would not be benefited from knowing that you have the ability to think quickly. And freestyle rap is teaching yourself to think quickly in rhythm and rhyme form. And if you can do it quickly in rhythm and rhyme, what's an office meeting where you just have to answer a question and speak one sentence? Like, it just becomes way easier. With my incarcerated youth, I'm like, don't you want to feel like you have an instant answer for where are you going? What are you doing? The freestyle can help there. An extreme example, but I just want to spread that positive thought virus to as many people as possible, empower folks, and like just build an army of ill, kind-hearted freestylers to continue spreading that thought virus. Each one, teach one, reach one, and pay it forward.
Each one, you say each one, teach
one?
Yeah,
each one, reach one, teach one, pay it forward.
Nice. I love that. Cool. Freestyle Fitness sounds awesome. I definitely want to get more involved with that. I signed up for one of the courses. The punchline one sounds awesome too. I might change my mind about that one. I didn't sign up, but maybe I'll do that. And cool. So tell me a little bit more about like Freestyle Love Supreme Academy. How is Freestyle Fitness? Are you affiliated with them? Or is that just a community you're part of, or what is that?
It's a community that I'm a part of. I've been working with Freestyle Love Supreme Academy now since, oh my God, I'm much better with words than math. Since the Academy was a thing, I was in like the beta version of their course. And then from that experience, was tapped to help facilitate, like assistant facilitate, now lead facilitate a bunch of their offerings. So Freestyle Fitness was born, I guess, like around the same time. But for me, it was I have such a wacky route in my life path. So many just different odd touch points. I kind of felt like the only way that I could make them make sense and present them in a way that makes sense for people is if I was the one to present it, and figured out a way for myself to line that up. So shout out to Freestyle Love Supreme Academy. They're an incredible community. They have been super supportive of me and Freestyle Fitness. It's ill when a larger body, a connected and kind-hearted body will, plug you in to do stuff, but then also let you know that it's okay to let the people know about what you're doing on your own too. That's
Hmm.
so shout out to Freestyle Love Supreme Academy. They have shown me nothing but love and support. Working with them and in support of my own endeavors. We just had Shockwave on props last weekend.
Nice.
Anissa from Freestyle Love Supreme was our very first props champion. There's a lot of community love.
That's awesome. Cool. So my next question is, so I mean, there's your own, and then also Freestyle Love Supreme. But then, what are some online rap communities that you're excited about? Are there other ones that you know about?
I mean, yes. Short answer, yes. FLSA is something that I'm really really hyped about, and obviously Freestyle Fitness. That's my bag. I live in that bag. I'm beyond stoked about it. But shout out to the homies at EO Dub. End of the week, ever since Vice Versa's Rest in Peace passed, like they've been killing it on the Zoom, Twitch streams with like programming most nights, if not every night of the week. So shout out to Angel A, Baxter, Dama, Nunzio, Jess James, a whole EO Dub fam. Freestyle Mondays went virtual as a result of the pandemic. So, shout out to Corey James Gray, formerly known as Ill Spoken. There wouldn't be a BS without him and Freestyle Mondays.
Wow.
So it's been ill to watch the battle become this, virtual thing. I ended up taking the season 1 crown. Not to, hey.
Congrats.
And then
Props.
season 2, not so much. Thank you. Season 2 made it to the finals, but didn't take the crown. But exciting community, like at least with the New York communities, there's a lot of overlap, and it's kind of in a place again where it feels like there are these bubble pockets popping up, and I find myself in the odd luxurious position of having been around the block enough times where I have touch points in most of these, but they don't have touch points with each other. So just trying to bring dope people doing dope shit to a closer, doper together has been like a large part of it. But yeah, the FLSA, Freestyle Fitness, Supreme Bars, shout out to Roberto and Supreme Bars. They've been going like YouTube programming now. So it's been crazy to watch a lot of the in-persons become virtual and watch as that seems to expand the community for all of these pocket communities, but then expand our larger hip-hop community as well.
Cool. That's awesome. So Supreme Bars, end of the week. Both of those are online things?
They are now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Freestyle Mondays.
Nice. Have you used Discord at all?
Very, very recently, but not as like a we are facilitating. Discord is our back channel, but not that's it. I've literally signed on to Discord twice.
Oh, okay. I love Discord. Freestyling on Discord is really fun. Because you can use a bot to play beat, and then it works better like hearing it in time.
Okay.
The beat's playing, so when people rap, it sounds more on rhythm, I think. But I don't know, it's fun.
Next time you'd let me know. Like that sounds
I'm doing
like
it tonight. I'm doing it tonight, and Nathanology might be there.
The bro Nathan Dufour, that's a bro like that. That's fucking fam.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, he's great. I just met with him yesterday.
He's a stunning human being, heart of gold.
Beautiful. Cool. So let's talk a little bit more about your goals for this year. So imagine you had a magic wand that could recruit any one person to be on your team or like just on your side. Like describe that person. Like who would you attract and why, and how would they help you? Like would it be like a video editor or like a PR person, or who is this person?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I'm at the point right now where I have the luxury of having strong, reputable, solid content, but where it comes to like more business administration, like putting it in places where people can see it and engage with it. I'm not gonna lie, like feeling like I'm constantly on social media makes me feel hella anxious. You know what I mean? Like and it's a necessary thing, especially now when in person is not on the table. But like having someone between Freestyle Fitness, props, and these other floating entities to like help strategize marketing, help make sure that they're just like, hey, these are the things that maybe you want to think about or include. This is how you go through your analytics and actually make use of them instead of like throwing money and like taking shots in the dark. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this will work. Let's try this time. So folks with that kind of like background knowledge whose energy is on the level and like are down, you know what I mean? Just want to get into it and are, you know, we gotta pay people. We gotta pay people to do work. So somebody I can afford who who has those sorts of insights available, but also has an understanding of what I'm doing, the hip hop culture, the representation of it, and can lend a hand with their insights across those different levels. That would be cool. So if you out there, trustbs@gmail.com.
Perfect. Awesome. So business administrator / marketer / organizer of sorts. Okay, cool. Nice. So let's talk about process for a second. I want to hear, like, what is the process for creating props an episode? Like, how does it all work? Like, what do you use if you're comfortable sharing that? Like, what's the tech stack there?
Well, so I can't speak on the tech stack as much. That is, shout out to Dr. Pauly, my production partner, my co-executive producer, and our technical director. When it comes to the tech, they run that shit and they run it like a champ. So I mean, we go into StreamYard. I mean, that much I can tell. What I understand, I can tell you. What I don't know, yeah. We'd have to phone a friend. Okay. But as far as like the production itself goes, like we like to go into StreamYard into a live YouTube. So we'll go into the YouTube live. It's unlisted. You know, folks buy the ticket, they get a link, and then rock out with this 2-hour show. It's the way we design. Well, the way I design the show is, and the way it continues to evolve is it's a crapshoot. Like, that's what I tell the competitors. It's like your best way to come on props and win is to not give a fuck about winning and just go hard. Be yourself and go hard. And just let the pieces fall where they may. The last round of the game is you're literally gambling the props you have accrued on a challenge you have not seen given by one of the other competitors or maybe your own. But like it's never over until it's over. There's a plot twist and a heartbreak every episode, and it's designed to be super unpredictable. We've never had a champion hold their title another month. It's always been one and then somebody new. When I'm writing the board, so I created props in 2016, 2017. It's funny you mention Nate. So Anna Diorio, Nate, Hilla, and Seth Hirsch used to kick it, and we used to call ourselves like Cypher Knots, and we would just come up with freestyle challenges for one another. We just hang out for a few hours and like try to elevate our freestyles. That was the whole thing. And then I came up with this idea where I was like, yo, I'm gonna fuck their shit up. And so one day we're meeting for Cypher Knots, and I just showed up in a blazer with a bunch of Post-its, like game show host style, and we were in Anna's then kitchen in Brooklyn, and we did like the very first it was. I called it props, but like what would become what now today is now props. Its very first moment. So I kind of look at it like I was telling you before. There's like a scale. So we have the prop boxes going 100, 250, 500. To be on the show at all, you gotta be a really dope freestyler, and your energy's gotta be on the level, because the heartbreak is weird, and we're live. I gotta trust you to be able to take a heartbreak in front of a camera. Like the hundreds, like so usually like everything has to happen in 16 bars, which is where it kind of gets more challenging. Like some of these challenges, if you had infinite space or more space, they're a lot easier to complete. But knocking them out in 16 has kind of become the gold standard. So your hundreds are pretty. I don't know. I'm biased. I write the shit, and then some of the ones that I'm like, I really, that was the one that fucked you up. Like it'll be more the crowd, not the competitors, but just the crowd. Like wild it a little bit. Shout out to our props crowd. We have the best, most active listening audience on the internet.
Nice. That's awesome.
Catching corrections. But like the hundreds, like they go harder as they go along. So the hundreds will usually be like, hey, here's actually, let me just hold on, if you don't mind. I'll just pull one up
Go for it.
from
Yeah.
the last show. But they get more layered, and the 100s are like layups. The 250s are more rigorous, and the 500s are fucking hard. Arguably, I don't know. I was told I was a rhyme sadist. I don't believe it. And if you see what some of the challengers bring in on their own, you know what I'm saying?
Are these the same challenges that you used for the Brain Breakers workshop?
Similar mentality when I come up with them. And if I have what I like to think of as like Brain Breakers, like you got to be a pretty advanced rhymer, or be down to just not give a fuck about failing, right? Like the type of person who can take like, oh, this looks impossible, I don't care, bang, and just runs at it. I feel like you kind of got to be in one or the other headspace, and kind of like combining things. So like a lot of stuff that you would see in written. So like one of my favorite warm-ups used for Brain Breakers would be like Blackalicious alphabet aerobics. We'll take a letter, and now we are just going to a like and make it rhyme, and then go in couplets. Next person, B B B B B B C, and like trade it around. Like things that are, I think, more written convention, and then translating them into freestyle and like figuring out ways of navigating those. You know, regardless of I don't want to say regardless of success, but defining success as movement and forward movement and progress. Along the route of forward movement, we have things that people call success and failure. I think those are misnomers. If you're moving, you're progressing. That's what you should be doing. If you're still and you're in stasis, then I think you need to be asking yourself why you're not in movement and in motion. So here, let me give you, since Valentine's Day is coming up, the V-Day was a category on the last props. So Valentine's Day for 100. Went something like this, you know. Is it really about love, or is it about consumerism? Pick a side, present your take, and include at least 4 holiday-specific references as evidence. That's in 16 bars. That's 100. Our 250, you know, we like to put like a cipher round, like trick panel onto the board. So this one ended up being the cipher round. So we got kind of philosophical. Is it better to have loved and lost than never to have loved before? So our competitors are all rhyming 2 rounds of 8 bars. The competitor being evaluated goes last. The first competitor had to pick yes or no. Is it better to have loved and lost or not? And then the other one had to take the other viewpoint, and our competitor being evaluated had to make at least one reference. Had to reference at least 1 point made by each rhymer per rotation, and at the end they had to pick a side. And after playing mediator, and then our 500 rap rom-com, you know, rap the beginning, middle, end of a new, never before seen a Valentine's Day themed rom-com produced by the props audience called. And if I remember correctly, what they chose was V for Vanessa. Was the you know the movie title that the crowd provided. And then our rhymer had to give us one punchline where they explicitly say the title of the movie, name drop 2 celebrities rumored to be attached to the project. Each line has to start with the letter V, and then there was a curveball attached to it. So like an optional additional challenge where they can dub the curveball. They don't need to take it. But if they do take it, they have to do the whole challenge plus the curveball, or they get no props. So the curveball was 100 bonus props if you also name drop and impersonate the big name major label artist confirmed for the movie's opening theme. That curveball was dubbed. Shout out to Steve GT because he bodied that challenge. It was crazy.
Wow.
But that's the kind of like shenanigans in props. So like props, I feel like is Brain Breakers in it sometimes to a different. The purpose is different, right? They're being presented as challenges in like a game show kind of way. There's a theme in the category, right? There's a certain build to it. Whereas with Brain Breakers, it's a little bit more about the craft point itself. Let's focus on this ridiculous thing, or let's take this not ridiculous thing and find ways of making it absolutely batshit. So we can absolutely go into props territory with it. And I have had a Brain Breakers where like everybody was so like, I think it was the week like before a props episode, and folks were just like, yo, so like, you know, it kind of feels like we're in props. It kind of feels like we're in kind of, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to give y'all props questions now. All right. You tell me 100, 250, you pick your poison. Let me know where you want it, and I'll hit you with something. So that has happened sometimes. Yeah.
Could you break my brain right now?
Could I break your brain right now?
Yeah.
I can try.
All right. Ready, go.
You broken yet?
Oh man. How did you do that?
It's that David James power.
True. David James to David James. Nice. Cool. So I just have some quick questions that I want to ask you. So if you could teach everyone in the world one concept, what would it be?
Kindness.
Like how to be kind, or the importance of kindness?
Yeah. I mean, I think how to be kind. If you're already being kind, then I think its importance. If you're living it, I think its importance is inherent. Then, you know, I think it becomes the same thing. But kindness, yeah.
How could I be more kind?
Oh man, I don't know. You seem pretty nice already, David. I'm not gonna front. How could you be more kind? I don't know. We'd have to. We need to hang out and talk more on the internet, and then I can give you a better answer.
Okay.
I feel like I need more due diligence to properly answer that question. You know?
Okay, that's fair.
Because it's a serious question. I want to give you like a serious, like respectful from the heart answer.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. So next question. If 1 million people could hear one of your songs, which one would you want them to hear?
Fun
by BS. Is that on YouTube?
It is. There's a video for that one.
All right, perfect. What are 2 albums that I have probably not heard that you think I should listen to? Really great albums.
That you haven't heard. That's tough. You strike me as the type of person who listens to a lot. And I'm the type of person who like listens to a lot and moves around too quickly to remember what I listened to, just how it made me feel. You know what? An album that more people should listen to. Maybe you have heard it. Camp Lo's Uptown Saturday Night. That is such a fun vibe. I feel like some occasionally nonsensical hip hop lyricism in its most fun, like groovy form. I'm always surprised by how many folks are just not even aware of Camp Lo or that album. Amazing like piece of work.
Camp Lo, Uptown Saturday Night.
Such a fun, feel good, like just I miss rap duos, bro. You know, rap duos are so dope. They're I feel like they're like they did a lot of cool shit early on and didn't get as much shine or play, and they're still around. But I feel like that was their like magnum opus.
Cool. What's number 2?
Number 2. I'm gonna go for my gut. I feel like you've probably heard this, but A$AP Rock's Labor Days, especially now. I don't know. I had a moment with it where I was just walking around New York City. And it was starting to get cold, and I had this on, and just like listening to something that came out 20 years earlier that felt like it could have come out the other day. With just the themes being so relevant, you know, the plight of the modern man, like escaping the 9 to 5 in search of like your purpose and like and feeling expressed through your purpose. Like that joint was a game changer for me. One of my all time favorites, and layers to it. So I don't know. Now it came out over 20 years ago. Every time I hear that shit, I hear something new. A line I didn't catch, a reference that didn't connect. As I like continue advancing in life stages, like there's just more and more connective tissue there for me.
Okay, I haven't heard either of those, so those are perfect.
You'll have to let me know what you think. Oh, can we chop like on the private? Can we chop it up about those once you listen?
Yeah, totally. Let's do it. Awesome. And A$AP Rock, he also has a new album that I listened to. The something about the spirit world.
Spirit World Field Guide. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a rap book club at Freestyle Fitness with a Spirit World Field Guide next Tuesday. Hold up.
Nobody that watches this will be able to be there because it'll be already over by the time this drops. But I will be there. and everybody else will have FOMO.
And it'll be a monthly thing. So if you want to come hang out at Rap Book Club, yeah, it'll be Tuesday the 16th, from 6 to 9. So we'll be listening to it from start to finish. So folks can do their people thing, however you like to enjoy. Camera on, camera off, food, snack, extra, whatever. Do you? And listen to it. Talk about it. For some people, it'll be their first listen. For some, it'll be a repeat listen. But especially with an artist like ASAP, there's a lot going on. So I'm really excited to see where the conversation goes, what larger and broader themes come out of it. And if folks are feeling like into it, we'll throw on some ASAP instrumentals and freestyle at the end and just like get our ASAP rhyme flex attempt going.
That sounds amazing. That's a great event. I'm excited for that. More excited than I was before. Cool. So BS, my next question. What important truth do very few people agree with you on?
I don't know about very few, but something I keep encountering resistance on is that, your friends and your homies should be the people telling you you're fucking up before some random person does. And I feel like that is a polarizing way to view friendship. I think some folks get that and it clicks. I'm a believer that accountability equals love. If nobody tells you that you're messing up, how are you going to know that you're messing up? And if you don't know, if you're not aware, how can you course correct? There's nothing you can do there. So I don't know. I feel like I'm always surprised when someone who I'm like, just kind of share as gently and like as diplomatically as I can. I'm always surprised sometimes when some folks are just like really taken aback and not willing to receive that message, which is their prerogative. But it has been a misunderstood way of showing love for me.
Kindness.
And
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. And then my last question is, so like based on your research and personal experience, you're a connoisseur of rap of sorts. What would you say is the secret to becoming a famous rapper?
I'll tell you when I'm famous. I don't know. Because I don't think I'm a famous rapper. I think I'm a damn good, reputable rapper, and I can tell you how I got there. For me, fame is not really something I'm chasing, or I would rather be comfortable and secure than famous, whatever that might mean. So like right now, I've carved out like a dope existence for myself as like a blue collar professional artist, educator, rhyme flinger, and face sound maker. But I feel like
famous rappers, right? Like A$AP Rock.
I do.
Yeah. Like what makes them different from just the ordinary person or the rapper that never makes it,
I think that they're not afraid to say no, and that they're unabashedly themselves. And when something crosses their path that tries to change their shape and what they are, they have enough faith in themselves and what they're doing and what they feel called to inside themselves to maintain that course despite adversity, perceived or otherwise.
That's great. Makes sense to me.
Gotta be true to yourself, and at the end of the day, you gotta live with you.
Yeah, 100%. Cool. So BS, that's the end of my questions here. So I just want to give you like a minute, whatever you want to say to the people that have been listening thus far. If you want to shout anything out, take the time to do that now.
Word. Thank you, David. Yo, shout out to David Pro Rock. Thank you for having me, brother. I really appreciate you making the time. Freestyle Fitness NYC. You want to level up your freestyle? Come talk to me. Whether you are a beginner rhymer or an athletic rhymer, I got shit for you. We can have some fun while we do it. Practice makes progress, and practice can become kicking it with the homies really quick. Check out Props, a hip hop game show. You can get in touch with me and learn about my offerings, music, props at trustbs.com. Don't stop believing in yourself. Listen to your smile. It is your body's truest form and indicator if something is right for you. If it makes you smile, you should probably follow it. If you can't imagine yourself smiling at the thought of a thing, then you should probably leave it. Do yourself that favor. Be kind to yourself. The world will be a better place. Peace, love, community. Trust BS.
Slow clap. That was amazing. Was that rehearsed? Was that just off the top of the dome?
Almost everything I do is off the top, fam.
Awesome. Well, BS, it was a pleasure talking with you today. And for all the listeners out there, thanks for joining us. You know how to get in touch with BS. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.
Focus on love. Love what's in focus. Aim for above because the ceiling's bogus. Focus on love. Love what's in focus. Aim for above because the ceiling is bogus. Focus on love. Love what's in focus. Aim for above because the ceiling's bogus. Focus on love. Love what's in focus. Aim for above because the ceiling is bogus. I wanna lay down a never-ending road. We never go to